remembering that you have time out here. There's practicing patience. It can help you stay away from the restraints that happen. A lot of people run into them because they get tunnel vision or they get anxious and they forget that there's all the time in the world. I had a super humbling experience. I had a kid storming around camp, fist balled up, angry, swearing. I'm like, oh man, I would have to start the continuum. And I stepped out and I was like, base, I got a kid. He's angry, I'm concerned. I was like, my FSM at the time, he goes, what's your safety concern? And I was like, oh well, he might attack somebody or he might run out of camp. And he goes, those are things that require immediate intervention. Your ability to handle those situations is the same whether you're anxious or ready or whatever. That is what it is. Why would you need to start the continuum? I guess I don't. I guess I need to calm down. Which is great. It was huge for me. You're right. If he attacks somebody, I'm just going to handle that. If he runs out of camp, I have to handle that the same way. But if he stands there angry and swears, you can do that all day. We're at camp. I got all the time in the world to let him be upset and process later. That's another big thing. Is these kids sometimes they get in those places. It's just time. You can sit there all day and talk to them. You probably just trigger them. Sometimes, providing them that time to focus or relax and give yourself time to be patient and breathe. Do your 8-4 breathing technique or whatever you do to get out of that place.
Talk about the 8-4 breathing.
So 8-4, it's a breathing technique. It's designed to help you relax. It's really good for any stressful situation. If you're in a traumatic event, but when you feel the anxiety, when you feel like you're in a situation where you might have to restrain or something like that, it'll definitely help you avoid tunnel vision. When I say tunnel vision, when you start forgetting things like how much time you have, what your assets are. You forget that I can call my FSM. He might be around the corner. I can utilize my co-staff for. There's so many things that you have at your, at the table. You can forget very easily once you start getting over anxious. So, inhaling for 8 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 8 seconds, holding out for 4, and very quickly you'll find yourself calm down. Your heart rate gets normal. Help you better handle those situations. Any of them.
And you're teaching that in BCS?
I am.
And did you learn that before in your martial arts training?
I learned a different timing in studying survival. A lot of survival situations start out with traumatic events, whether it's injury or being stranded. It's extremely difficult and can cause a lot of anxiety. So it'll keep you from doing silly things.
What was the other timing that you learned?
It was a 3-5, and just 3-5. In for 5, hold for 3, out for 5, hold for 3, and it's great. But I found 8-4 is just as good. It's part of the curriculum when you learn PCS.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful.
And I think it's a great breathing technique. I've heard people say it helps them get to bed.
Yeah.
Just relax after walking. Little tools like that are phenomenal, but just remembering every time to use them is important.
It's key to actually use them when you need them.
That's exactly.
Well, it's key to practice them so that you remember to use them.
Yeah. It's your fine motor skills and your critical thinking and all that great stuff that you have right now. It can go out the window pretty quickly when you're in an intense situation. So practicing it now, that's why I practice a lot of muscle memory. You'll go through something with your eyes open, go through another hold with your eyes closed, with your eyes open, and go back over it after lunch, just to try to retain and make it a habit. That way you can perform it safely. It's safer for you, safer for the kid. And again, practicing your patience, watching your anxiety levels, being confident in your ability. Safest for everybody.
So before we're talking, what's the best part of this job?
The best part for me is when they wake up. And I don't mean when they wake up in the morning. That's usually a nightmare. But no, when their eyes open, when you see that life behind them, when all the bad is worn off, and all the good, they get out here settled in, and they're energetic, and they're more confident. They're starting to put things into practice. I'm sure it's amazing, you know, for people to see that, you know, when they come out of here, you know, experience that. But when you're field staff, you just see the magic happen. You know, it's right in front of you. It's usually, you see it, you know, it's the next day, it's the day before, then it's a hard day, and then you're like, they're awake, they're in there, they're growing.
What is it about that hard day that makes it happen?
That makes
that happen? You said usually it's, you know, it's right after a hard day.
It's usually, I think it's there's a moment, there's something that happens when you have a hard day and you make it through. These guys, they experience pain and struggle, and they have so many passive activities to ignore it, drugs to ignore it. They'll you know, struggle's gonna knock on your door whether you want it to or not in any environment. But out here, you gotta answer the door. And when you do, and you make it through it, so many good things happen. Confidence happens, you know. You get to release that instead of hanging on to it. It's definitely a beautiful thing.
So when that opportunity's there, and that awakening, you know, that is right there. It's a possibility. What are some things that instructors do that actually get in the way of that moment?
I think it's a natural thing to want to help a kid avoid failure. You know, I talked a little bit about that earlier. It's doing your best and failing, it's a great thing. And being willing to do that, well, I think that's the key to success. People, kids in general, they don't try. They don't do their best either, you know. If they fail, they can go, oh, well, at least I wasn't doing my best, you know. To be able to, you know, I just did my best and gave it my all, and I failed, you know. We try to keep from that opportunity, sometimes protect them, and we wind up hurting them. So, the best thing they can do is present these opportunities. Let's do this marathon, you know, let's peak this mountain. Let's at least fail, see what happens. The thing is, they have the ability to succeed. They're all powerful, they're all intelligent, sometimes in many ways, sometimes in just their own way, but there's an opportunity for success, you know. We lose that when we avoid failure. A lot of the time, I think just giving these kids a chance to fail at blowing that fire, fail at making it to the top, processing it with them, giving them a chance to succeed at something else. It's huge.
Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe. The Primitivus project is made possible by the generous sponsorship of Wingate Wilderness Therapy. To learn more, visit wingatewilderness.therapy.com.